Hello my Taphophile friends. In this video we'll visit with 3 graveyards / memorial parks, cemeteries. First one is St. Joseph Cemetery. We'll visit with the Chevrolet brothers. From there we'll go to Oak Lawn Memorial Park. We'll find Francis Farmer. We'll also meet up with a subscriber over there. Lastly, we'll go to Crown Hill Cemetery and visit with several famous graves. So here we go. Here in Indianapolis, Indiana, we have the Chevrolet brothers. All 3 brothers raced one time or another in the Indy 500. Indianapolis is well known for the Indianapolis 500 race. In fact, where the racetrack is located, it's called Speedway, Indiana. So we have Lewis Chevrolet, Brother Arthur, Brother Charles. My very first vehicle was a 1972 Chevrolet Camaro. Looks like some folks have came out to pay their respects. We got 3 Corvettes, 1 Camaro, other Corvettes up here, SUV, Chevrolet brothers. They get a lot of visitors. You know, I think while we're here, there's one infamous grave. Let's see if I can find this character. Well, as it turns out, it's an unmarked grave. This is the resting place of George W. Barrett. He shoots an FBI agent, Nelson Klein, hitting him 5 out of 6 shots, killing him. Barrett was the last person put to death by hanging here in Indianapolis on March the 24th, 1936. He skips his last meal, so a deputy sheriff by the name of Ron Newland ate it. How about that? Now let's head over to Oak Lawn Memorial Park. We'll find Francis Farmer. We'll meet up with a subscriber by name of Fred Smith. I think, yes, Fred Smith. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Dave.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks for meeting up with me today.
My pleasure.
I think we're going to visit with a couple.
Yeah.
Who's up first?
So it looks like we have Francis Farmer.
Okay.
She was born in Seattle, Washington, actress in the 30s and 40s. She found her way to Indianapolis doing the play. Was offered a job at a local TV station to host a daily TV show, and she stayed here.
Right here in Indiana. Hollywood starlet. How often do you come see her, Fred?
So I'm here every few months. I'll come and change flowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate you doing that,
Yeah.
showing respect.
Yeah, we have a Facebook channel, and people really enjoy seeing the new flowers. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you
Francis-
start the Facebook
I
channel?
did not. I joined
Okay.
it. Francis Farmer Forever.
Okay. How many members?
Oh, there's several hundred, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then there is a gentleman who did Buick commercials, Bob Catterson, who's
Yes.
just around the corner here.
Okay. Bob Catterson. Yes, I remember him. Right here he is.
Yeah.
He was also a professional ballroom dancer. Him and his wife they won many awards. Yes, Bob Catterson. If you lived in the Indianapolis area in the 70s, quite often on Channel 4, you'll see Bob doing Buick commercials for sure.
Dave Mason Buick sells more new Buicks than any other dealer in the entire state of Indiana. Why? Nobody will sell you a new Buick for less money. Nobody. That's why we sell more new Buicks than any other dealer in the entire state of Indiana. The records prove it. Who else can make these statements? Only Dave Mason Buick in a 1200 block on North Shadeland. That's who.
So Fred, you and I got the same disease called tapophile.
Absolutely. Yeah, I enjoy going to cemeteries and
Yeah.
just showing the beauty of the cemeteries.
Yeah, nice.
Absolutely.
Do you have a channel?
I do. It's called Fred Smith Adventures. Mainly just views of cemeteries, the markers, just the beauty of the areas.
Yeah. Not so much famous people, but
Not so much.
beautiful.
There are a few
Yeah.
on my channel.
Okay, and that's in the Anderson area?
Anderson, yes.
Okay. Hey, friends, be sure to look up Fred. What's it called again?
Fred Smith Adventures.
And subscribe. Thanks, pal, for meeting me.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate your time. Want to jump in and do an update? The name has been changed to Fred Smith Cemetery Adventures, so please go over and subscribe. I just learned this is the service for the first black chief of police of Indianapolis. His name's James Toller. We're back at Crown Hill Cemetery, Indianapolis. Yes, please go over and check out Fred Smith's channel. Please subscribe. I know it'd mean the world to him. He's a really good guy, so please go check him out and take a look. Our first stop is car manufacturer Howard Mormon. He was the founder of the Mormon Motor Car Company. He's credited for many innovations, such as the first to use aluminum components for weight reduction for better gas mileage, even way back then. He was the first to use multicolors on vehicles, allowing the buyer to choose their colors. I wish you can do that today. You can pick your color, but you can't pick multiple colors. Also, as you visit Crown Hill, you'll see these checkered flags. That means they're associated one way or another with the Indy 500. We're now inside the mausoleum. We have only one stop to make in here, but boy, it's a doozy. This is a famous grave of August Duesenberg. He was a German-born American automobile manufacturer who, along with his brother Fred, built luxury cars and racing cars. His Duesenberg-built engines win the Indy 500 in 1921, 24, 1925, and 1927. This is a factory where they built the cars, located here at Indy at 1501 West Washington Street. I drove by there earlier, but sadly, the building's been torn down. We're now back outside at the ground interments. This is the older brother to August. This is Fred Duesenberg. He's also born in Germany, comes over to America, gained citizenship. He was also the designer of the luxury and race cars. He was a little more engineer-minded than his younger brother, August. He develops a straight 8 engine that Duesenbergs used. He also designed and perfected their 4-wheel drive hydraulic brake system, which is used today. He designed the early automatic transmissions and the cooling systems in the cars. All these are used in today's vehicles. Today, anyway. We don't know what tomorrow will bring with electric junk. This is a grave of Charles Black. He's a businessman. He owns a carriage company here in Indianapolis. He comes up with the idea to order a Benz motor from Germany. He attaches it to one of his carriages. He called it the deluxe model. He's the first human being to drive an automobile through downtown Indianapolis. It was not Henry Ford, it was Charles Black. James Basket. Right next to his location is a marker in his memory, dedicated in his memory. He's an Indianapolis native, James Basket. This is dedicated in his memory for the Academy Award-winning portrayal of master storyteller Uncle Remus in the Walt Disney's 1946 movie Song of the South. Not in your day, nor yet in my day, says Uncle Remus, but once upon a time. How about that? Right here in Indianapolis, Crown Hill Cemetery, probably the largest cemetery in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're headed up to the grave of James Whitcomb Riley. He was a poet. He's also a best-selling author. He's written approximately 1,000 poems. His famous works include Little Orphan Annie and The Raggedy Man. He's known as a children's poet. There's a hospital here named in his honor, James Whitcomb Riley Hospital for Children. He struggles in school, fails math and science. He graduates the 8th grade at age 20, believe it or not. Critics say he's very successful because he used common language in his writings. Often people will come here and read his works. The children's poet. What do you say we head over to Chicago? My friend Cheryl has sent several videos, so stick with me. Well, I have to jump in here because in the original video, I had the theme song to the Brady Bunch. This is the resting place of Robert Reed. He's originally from Highland Park, Illinois, just north of Chicago. He plays a part of Mike Brady on the Brady Bunch television series of the 1970s. Reed was a second choice. Originally, the part was offered to Gene Hackman. Reed was a serious actor. Oftentimes, he would argue with Sherwood Schwartz over the scripts. Many of them he thought was very silly, so Schwartz, being a sharp individual he is, he lets he lets Robert Reed direct some parts.
Now, the rest of the story. When she was a little girl, her parents called her Duchess because she was composed and confident, because she knew what she wanted and was good at getting it. But that was many years and much lost confidence ago. Now, Duchess was a cleaning woman. Any more extravagant aspirations she might have had fell by the wayside as reality intruded upon her youth. Had she only stayed in school, perhaps, or had subsequent professional ventures not failed so miserably, but she was a dropout and a washout. And now Duchess was doing wash, cleaning other people's homes. And this is the rest of the story. Suddenly she became introverted and withdrawn, and would hang her head and bite her nails and say as little as possible. In school, classmates liked her, but she was never a leader. Her favorite reading was romantic novels. She wore jeans and no makeup and looked after herself quietly. Her grades were unimpressive. Dad thought a new school might help, but she dropped out after 6 weeks. Needed to find herself, she said. The next 2 years were spent floundering. She even tried teaching at a children's dancing school. Duchess did love children, and that work seemed tame enough. Her class was comprised of 3-year-olds, and what a challenge they were. All Duchess had to do, of course, was hold hands with the toddlers and dance in a circle and help them to act out children's songs and teach them to touch their heads and shoulders and knees and toes. But after 3 months, that challenge proved too formidable, for it was a job requiring an extrovert, and the Duchess was no extrovert, so she quit, and as I say, became a cleaning lady, cleaning other people's houses. Once in a while she would talk about summoning her confidence again, Maybe, she said, she could become a part-time nanny or a kindergarten assistant. And yet, among her friends, there was not one who could imagine Duchess as any kind of a girl except the girl that she was, quiet and frightened, uncertain and gangly, an ungainly teenager, not at all the sort who might turn out to be fashionable and self-assured and sought after and even scintillating. And yet she did. You see, the Duchess I've been describing, the finishing school dropout, the cleaning lady clad in jeans, has become known the world over as another kind of lady. The dimed novel dreams of her childhood have come true for Diana Spencer, whom you call Princess Di, the future Queen of England. Only now you know the rest of the story.
Well, hope you guys toughed it out with Paul Harvey. Next couple of stops, as Cheryl has sent to me, is legendary announcers. First is Harry Carey. Right after this, she'll find Jack Brickhouse for us.
Harry! Good to see you, Harry. How are you? Come on up here. How you been, Harry?
I didn't realize there's so many true music lovers.
Yeah.
As there are here.
Now, how did that start? You do that every game at Wrigley Field?
You know, I've always sung. Whenever I heard Take Me Out to the Ball Game, I'd sing it, but only in the booth. And the first 6 years I was with the White Sox, John Allen owned the ball club, and the only people who heard me sing was Jimmy Pearsall and our producer.
The guys you worked with there?
Yeah, right, in the booth.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd say, Take Me Out to the ball. Well, Bill Veck bought the ball club, and he noticed that just lip reading that I was singing. And then after a couple of days, he noticed the fans right below the booth were singing with me. And then one day, without my knowing it, he had a public address microphone put in the booth.
Right.
And I'm singing, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All of a sudden, I hear my voice come booming back at me, along with about 15,000 others. So after the game, I went up to Bill. I said, what was that all about? He said, Harry, I've been waiting 35 years to find the right guy to do this. And, you know, I'm getting a little pumped up. I think he's flattering me. He said, yeah, he says, as soon as I heard you, he said, I knew that any fans sitting in the ballpark, as soon as he heard you sing, would be happy to sing along, because they knew, every one of them, that they could sing at least as good, if not better than you.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid living in Lafayette, Indiana in the 70s on Channel 9, I'd see the Cubs games. Jack Brickhouse was the best.
And speaking of fan appreciation, as a fan, and believe me, I'll always be a fan, let me express my appreciation to the Cubs organization for all these years, and to WGN and the Chicago Tribune organization all these years, and all the people associated with both organizations for the privilege of being on this scene. I intend to stay on the scene for a while. I'm moving away from play-by-play after all these years, but I'm going to be around, and I hope that we'll meet somewhere along the line. In the meantime, again, let me say, as one fan to another, I appreciate you, and I really appreciate, too, the kindness that you have shown me. I'm Jack Brickhouse. That's it from Wrigley Field for now.
Gerald Norman. Some might be surprised to learn that Jerry Springer was a newscaster and a one-time mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio.
If government, any government, is to have any positive effect on our lives, which after all is its purpose, to make life more tolerable, then that government must bear some relationship to how we live. Well, the truth is that our local government doesn't. We have invested many dollars, much time, and much effort in the beautiful development of our downtown. It has done much good for our entire community, and we must work to keep that momentum going. But at the same time, we must recognize that if a person's immediate neighborhood is deteriorating, if the houses are boarded up and the streets are unlit, it does us no good to tell him, hey, downtown is beautiful. He'll merely get up, leave the city, and enjoy downtown while living in Indian Hill.
Well, thanks for watching to the end. Any other subscribers who have some videos they'd like to share, send them my way. Everyone should be remembered. And happy trails, everyone.